You know, these fragrances help prove to me that maybe perfect scents do actually exist. When you're going through and trying new things all the time, collecting new fragrances, you'll find a lot that smell just okay, they smell fine, or maybe you find plenty that you don't like at all. But when you stick with it and you keep digging and you really refine what your taste is and you really get it down to where you know what type of scent you like, when you start looking in that direction or that category, you're gonna find some things that just blow your mind. And that's essentially what happened with me with these fragrances. And we have a very small select few here. Obviously, there are so many more, but we only have so much time, and the video would end up being 2 hours if I were to cover everything. So just a select few that I think are absolutely amazing. And we have a couple of different categories. We've got kind of the warm, spicy, sweet category, and we also have maybe the fresher category, slightly aquatic as well. So you'll kind of see the two areas that I really enjoy and some of the scents within those categories that just are amazing to me. We're gonna get things kicked off here kind of on the fresher end, and then as we move through, we'll kind of transition into some sweeter stuff. It's gonna get up to like 62 degrees today. It'd be a perfect day for Prada L'Homme Low. Absolutely love this flanker. It's great for summertime more so. I would say that's when I wear it more, but you know, a sunny fall 62 degree day, this one would work for that as well. This one has iris, powdery notes, and neroli. It's simply just a brighter, fresher take on the original Prada L'Homme. I mean, we'll just keep it simple. That's what this is. Now you know that I also love Prada L'Homme Intense, going in the opposite direction. And of course, I'm a fan of the original Prada L'Homme as well. I think the entire lineup is solid. They haven't completely diluted the line with a ton of flankers. We have like 4 scents and, well, 5 scents in total, 2 of which now are kind of hard to find, Absolute and Water Splash. But that one is essentially Prada L'Homme Low. So very simplistic. And again, this one here for me, nice and bright, fresh, soapy clean iris, nice slight floral component in here as well. It simply just smells amazing, uplifting, has kind of more of a slight formal nature to it just from the iris and how it's presented, but you could dress this one down and wear it casual as well. All right, this next one is from Chanel. It is Platinum Egoiste. This one has lavender, geranium, and rosemary. It's just a few of the notes. They have quite a bit more in here, but essentially it's a barbershop scent or an aromatic fougere, whatever you want to call it. However, what is so nice about this one is that it smells like it could have been released last year. Now, that's not the case. I don't remember for sure what the release year was, but I know it's been out for quite a while now. But typically, with your aromatic fougères, with your barbershop scents, they could smell a little bit more old school, right? They smell just older. They don't really have much of a modern smell. This is like one of the few that really make an exception where it's a modern take on this DNA, which I love. And to me, it makes this type of smell way more accessible to people. You know, even younger guys out there where maybe something like, I don't know, YSL Rive Gauche would be too old school smelling. This is just, it's the furthest from that. It's just a modernized take on this classic masculine DNA, focusing in on, again, all those aromatic notes, but kind of a green type of slightly earthy smell also. This also has kind of a soapiness, like a clean, soapy, out of the shower type of freshness too, which typically you don't get that type of freshness from barbershop scents, you know, at least not to that level. This is more like, again, a clean, fresh soapiness that is making it more versatile, I would say. Honestly, the nice thing about this too is that it's not crazy expensive. You know, typically your Chanels are going to be up into the 100s pretty far, depending on what you're getting. Not this, usually just right around $100, actually, on FragranceNet and stuff sometimes. It's very reasonable. It's such a versatile people pleaser, such an easy to wear type of scent, you know, and it goes against the grain that we're used to these days. So this might be a good way for you to stand out a little bit. All right, moving into this next one, we have Bvlgari Aqva Pour Homme. This is the original. It's really about the only one that's still standing, although even it is getting a bit harder to find these days. This one has seaweed, orange, cedarwood, and petitgrain, but it's really all about the seaweed, the aquatic notes, all of that orange and stuff. A little bit of petitgrain, kind of giving it a slight like neroli floral component here. This is a very unique aquatic scent, just to put it simply. I mean, this type of thing is really embracing that oceanic, realistic type of aquatic smell. Not to the point where it's super unwearable. In fact, quite the opposite. I find this and a lot of the flankers to be very wearable, super easy to pull off in most summer situations. But most of the time these days with aquatic scents, they're not really going this detailed and this unique smelling. I would say, honestly, Acqua di Gio Profondo is one that comes to mind of just being an aquatic scent that's kind of pushing the boundaries, and this will be another one. And when we're talking designers, of course, there's Aquamarine, Aqua Amara, Aqua Atlantique, and some of the tonic versions. You really can't get any of those anymore except for Marine is in stock right now, but that one also is getting very hard to find as well. But I love this stuff. I love the entire lineup. Atlantique has always been one of my favorites, Amara as well. But they're just, again, they're really, really nice for summertime. When I want something unique, when I want something that is just kind of a breath of fresh air in the sense of not being something that I've smelled elsewhere a million times, that's kind of when I reach for this. And ever since I tried this core lineup, I've loved it pretty much at the first sniff as I would go through and try each flanker, even again the tonic versions and stuff. When I've been lucky to score bottles of those on eBay and stuff here and there, those are amazing as well. It's just a really solid fragrance line that is just kind of overshadowed these days. They let this line kind of die off, and that sucks. All right, this next one is Tumi Continuum, giant 200 milliliter bottle here. It's crazy. I mean, the 100 mLs, especially with the metal caps, already have some weight to them, but this thing is beefy. I mean, you would not want to drop this on your foot, I can tell you that. This one has tobacco leaf, suede, got some olibanum in here as well. And then what else? One more, amber. Okay. Now they do list off oud as well, I believe. They have some oud in the note breakdown. Don't really pick up on a ton of that. Mostly all about the tobacco and the sweet notes. You get obviously a smokiness out of this one like you would expect, but nothing too crazy either. It's not like a Mancera red tobacco or anything crazy like that. It's a nice designer level tobacco scent here with a little bit of a twist. I would say if you think of Dolce & Gabbana the one, right, Eau de Parfum all the way over here on this side, and you think of Mancera red tobacco all the way over here on this side, right, this is somewhere in the middle. It's not quite as designered down as Dolce & Gabbana the one, but it's also not as crazy strong and niche like as red tobacco. So it's just, again, it's somewhere in the middle, kind of striking a nice balance here of giving us something that's kind of common smelling, just a wearable tobacco, but also nothing that's too crazy either. And that's what I like so much about this one. Tobacco can be used in so many different ways, and this is yet another way, especially this tobacco leaf accord that they're seemingly using here, or at least listing off in the note breakdown for us. It's not too crazy, not too strong. Suede gives it, I guess, a little bit of a leathery feel, that olibanum giving it kind of a bright, slight smoky kick as well. And just, man, it smells really nice. Very impressive scent. And these are not horribly priced at all. I don't know what I paid for this 200, but let's just say normal 100 milliliter size bottle. I think you're typically looking at, I don't know, somewhere around $50, maybe $60 or even a bit less than that, which, I mean, what a great scent for the price. All right, this next one from Hugo Boss, it is Confident Oud. So kind of a interesting fragrance lineup, I guess. It's the collection. I don't like, that because it's just hard to say in a sentence. Same with the Hugo Boss, the scent lineup, throwing the in there just makes things difficult. Same with this. So we don't get 3 notes. Actually, we only get 2. So that's even better, right? It's got bran and, of course, oud. Okay, that's it. That's all they give you. It sounds like I'm hating on the scent, right? But I'm not. I really love how it smells. And the question is, well, what does it smell like and what does it remind me of? Well, it reminds me of several things, actually. And what does it smell like? It has this, of course, a little bit of oud in here. The bran giving it this kind of whiskey type of sweetness. There's so much more going on here as well. Like, I definitely get a cedar wood in here. That just kind of is something that I'm picking up on, especially with this type of scent. So what it reminds me of is a little bit of Killian, kind of Killian Straight to Heaven, maybe / Single Malt by Killian as well, if you've tried that one, just that type of cedar, oak barrel, boozy kick that it has. You get some of that. Maybe a little bit of, I don't know, maybe a tiny bit of Nasomato Baronda, although I'm not as much on that. It doesn't have the bright whiskey like Baronda has, but it does have, I guess, a bit of a similar smell, primarily from the woods though. And that's kind of where it falls, just somewhere in that category. Some comparisons to a couple pretty popular boozy Killian scents is kind of where I would about say that this one fits in at. Although this is definitely not a clone of Straight to Heaven, and it is not a clone of Single Malt either. Simply using those as comparatives, so that way you can kind of place this one somewhere. The oud is something that, again, you do pick up on. Not crazy strong though, not animalic, nothing major. It's actually a really wearable oud scent. You know, if you like boozy-based fragrances with this kind of, again, cedar, rich booziness, and you can tolerate just a little bit of mild oud, this is it. You know, don't buy this if you're expecting like super niche level oud. This is not it, but man, it is a wearable one that's actually perfect for right now, fall heading into winter time. That would be a great time of year to wear something like this. I don't know how well you can see it, but the coloration of the liquid itself is very dark, as you can see. The front here, that's just a sticker, okay? These retail for an ungodly amount. I don't remember what it is, but multiple hundreds of dollars. If I paid that much for this, I would be disappointed. Not even a magnetic cap, a sticker on the front. Outrageously overpriced at retail, but at discounters, $65 to $75, that's right on the money, and that's a great price for what you're getting here. So just avoid retail, get them on discounters, and you've got a really, really solid product for the price. Speaking of grossly overpriced at retail, we have Parfums de Marly Layton. You know, it's just, man, you look at the retail prices on these and Creeds and a lot of other stuff, and it is just insane. Luckily, you don't have to go that direction. These will pop up on sale, typically for Layton, when it does go on sale, usually right around $200. Still a lot of money, but it's 125 ml, cool presentation, all that stuff. Not bad really for niche at that price, for 125 ml niche that is, right? And then clones as well. There are so many Layton clones that you can get for $20 to $30 as well. So you've got options. I just threw in the real deal here just for the sake of keeping this kind of consistent. I could have put other clones in here as well, but we'll just keep it consistent with kind of what started off the lines in each case here. And this is what started off this DNA, this cinnamon, apple, vanillic, tonka bean, sweet type of scent. That's where it started here from Layton. I mean, they didn't invent this, but this particular concoction, that's where it started. It's become so popularized now with all the clones and stuff that sometimes it's kind of easy to forget, you know, where that stemmed from. And it's super popular, super hyped up. Everybody knows Layton. Everybody talks about it, right? It's all over the place. That doesn't make it a bad scent. That doesn't really dilute the scent itself, at least not for me, you know. Is it not something that stands out as much as it would if not everybody knew about it? Well, of course, that's going to change. But in terms of just picking it up and smelling the bottle, man, you know, whether it's popular or not, I enjoy this smell so much, both in this version and the several clones that I have as well. Just big fan of Layton. This next one is Amalfi Citrus by Dunhill. Wanted to throw this in while I can because, again, all of these are going away. This one has lemon, neroli, green tea, and 3 different types of orange, like a mandarin orange and 2 others, I believe. Don't remember what they were off the top of my head, but they had 3 different orange notes listed in here. I guess they're trying to run that home. When you do get the orange, you get a ton of neroli and petitgrain note. Very strong green. Smells wonderful. Lemon, bergamot, citrus as well. Just a really nice, uplifting, high quality, premium smelling citrus scent with kind of a DNA that stands out a bit here. It's not, you know, like a citrus that you would get from Calvin Klein or, you know, Tommy Bahama or something. And I'm not hating on those brands at all, but just it's more of a premium wearing experience, more of a full-bodied citrus type of scent. It's not super dumbed down or anything like that. Not to mention, I mean, that presentation is super satisfying. I mean, it's basically the Dunhill Icon bottle shape. Obviously, we've got all glass, and we have that incredibly thick just glass down here. Look at that. That's just pure glass there. It is hollow there, but adds a lot of weight to the bottle, just makes it look cool. They spent, to me, I mean, a good amount of time on this bottle presentation. They created a lineup in general that looks really classy. There's several in this lineup, and if you have them all stacked up together, man, they look really cool. Just hats off to them. I wish this line wasn't going away because some amazing scents in there. This is just one that I happen to really like. Last up for this video, a very basic one, but I'm throwing it in anyway. It's La Nuit de l'Homme by YSL. One of the very best date night scents that you can still purchase. One of the best cardamom lavender based scents ever. Warm, spicy, seductive, and mysterious. That is La Nuit de l'Homme, and that's really the best way I can describe it in just a few words. These days, 100 ml, usually around $70. So actually, the price has come down a little bit. You know, I think it used to be closer to 80, 90, even on discounters, although I guess I could be wrong on that. I just feel like prices come down, especially because testers will come up down into the $60 range, which I just feel like I never saw La Nuit de l'Homme in the $60 price range, so something pretty cool. This is very obtainable, available at all of the discounters, available at all the retailers, meaning you can try this one before you buy it if you wanted to. Go in store and sample it in person or try it online first or something, but I recommend at least trying it. If you know what you like, maybe a blind buy would be a good option for you, but that's, again, depending on if you know what you like. If you like the idea of a seductive, mysterious, sexy, spicy cardamom scent, then I would think that you would probably like this. Alrighty guys, that's gonna do it for me. Some fragrances that prove that 10 out of 10 scents do exist. And these work so well for me. I love them. Links will be down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.